Today, whoops, got to press my record button on the other thingy. There we go. Hello and welcome. So, I've just got a new little palette and some shinhan gouache, and I'm very excited. I've seen lots of great reviews about this gouache, and I've been really excited to try and use it and see how we go. So, I'm going to start by doing a little landscape. So I'm just going to draw, I'm going to do, it's mountains and a buffalo I'm going to do. So I'll do your mountains here. It's like the I don't know, it's the Rockies or it's, but it's a beautiful mountainscape. And I'm going to do my little buffalo, or bison rather, in front of it. Actually, I need to take that like that. I'm going to take the mountains back a bit further, like that. Get my eraser, my kneadable eraser. Just want to do that, and I'll have my bison in the foreground. He's right up close to us. I'll just draw his basic shape in. He's facing us. I thought it would be fun. It's only a little painting, but I thought it would be lots of fun. I've been trying to practice my landscapes to get better. Now his head and his shoulder, comes down around his face like that. He's got a big furry chest and stumpy, strong little legs, little cloven hoofs. Like that. He's got his horns come around the side of his head. They're sort of quite low set onto his head. Got to change his face a little bit. Change his face a little bit. Actually, I'm going to change him a little bit. So the background is mainly the focus. He's sort of looking at us. That eye's over here. It'll take a couple of goes to get his little features right. And it's very small, but I'm going to try and get quite a bit of detail into it. I've got to make him a little bit slimmer than I've got him. A little bit slimmer. I'll draw his leg coming down here like that. I only draw one bison. All right, I'll have him there like that. And the sun's casting, I'm going to make the sun cast a shadow that way. He's standing in grass, but I can draw a little hoof. You can just see the front of his hoof. There. His back legs are as even with his front legs. So draw his little feet on there, little hooves. I really am needing to practice my landscapes a bit more. So I'll paint in, I don't need to draw in the bushes, I'll just leave that as is. So I'm going to start with the sky. Get a bit of cloth, because I'm going to get covered in gouache otherwise, and I need cloth, I can't speak, cloth for my gouache. So I've got all the kitchen towel stuff. Got to get my camera on me a bit better. Here, hang on. I want to turn. Or away that way. That's better. Okay. Now I'm more in the centre of the camera. Okay, so I'm going to start with the sky, and I'm going to get a flat brush, and I'm just using like a $2 shop brush. It'll do the job just nicely, and I'm going to start with the sky. So I'm going to go a bit of cobalt blue. I put this all in the palette yesterday and to let it dry, because I'm going to take this palette away with me. So I'm just going to do a light wash for the sky. Cutting around the top of the mountain. I like these brushes because they've got little handles on them, little holders. Like a pencil holder almost, like you get for your pencils. Okay, so that's my sky laid in. And now I'm going to pop some clouds in. Grab a bit of white. Oops, days. Actually, I'll get a round brush for the white. Get a little round brush. The white. That's better. Pop that in. Might have to spritz that a little bit. Oh no, that's orange. Jesus, that got some orange on there. Well, it doesn't matter, I suppose. You know what? It's painting and I can go over it. Got to clean that off now because my orange sort of separated a little bit. There we go. Let's go over that. Because clouds do have all kinds of colours in them, so it won't hurt, will it? Okay. I can go over that anyway. So now I'm going to do the mountain colour, and that's a sienna-y kind of colour. So I'm going to pop that into the white, bit of sienna into my white. Add a bit more white to it, just to make it light to start. Then I'm just going to cut in this mountain range. Like that, and I'm just going to completely fill that in. Like that. Just going to clean my brush. I'm going to touch up the cloud here. It's bloomed at the bottom, so I'm just going to tidy that up a little bit. Maybe drag that cloud out so it's not so round. There we go, that's a bit better. Okay, that's all right. I'm happy enough with that. Now I'm going to go back in with stronger pigment, less water, much more pigmented, and I might add a bit of cobalt blue to it as well to darken it up into the shadow areas. Oh, that's a nice shadow colour. And I'm going to add some shadows in onto my mountain. So it's going to show you where the shaded areas make it look more three-dimensional. I'll add a little bit over the top as well. Just looking at shapes, I'm not looking for detail yet. I'm just blocking in shapes. Can come down here like that, and then down to the ground. There's all shrubbery in front of it. I'm just going to soften some of this up a little bit now. Just clean my brush and just soften take some of the edges up into like a rock pattern. I can even do that with a finer brush again. I'm going to drag that shadow over there a bit more. Like that. All right. I'm going to go even darker. I'm going to add a bit more blue. I want to make that as dark as I can. I use the very tip of my brush and go into some of these crevices. All right. Get a bit of mountain detail, just a little. They're just abstract sort of shapes. I'll do some lighter ones in the lighter areas. Whoops, days. Some darker shadows in different little bits. So I'll come down here and pop some super darks down there. So that's just ultramarine blue and burnt sienna to make my dark shadow colour. So I haven't used these these gouaches before. So this brand, but it's lovely. And I'm going to add a little bit of the lighter sienna, burnt sienna. It's all the same colour, just different consistencies of water. Just got to red up because the rock's got all different layers. Of colour coming through it. Right, a quick look. Come down here. These will all be this warmer colour. A bit warmer through there. Like that. I'm just going to soften up, see if I can soften up this edge here. That's better. Just want to get rid of that hard line there. Well, this lifts and it works beautifully. I'm really happy with this paint, actually. I've seen a few reviews on it and thought I want to give that a go. Okay, that'll do so far. I might pop a little bit of yellow. Up the top, just a little. Just as a little highlighty bit. Don't want it everywhere. And I'm going to go a bit of dark shadow. See, I need to get some darker shadows in on the other side. So I'm going to go plein air painting and I'm going to take this little set with me. So I thought I'll try it in the studio first. And then I'll try and figure out how to film plein air painting. We'll see how that goes, hey? We shall see how that goes. That's the plan, anywho. All right, I'm pretty happy with that, I think, for the mountains. I'm just going to soften some of these top lines. I don't need them that hard. Like that. All right, I'm going to move on into these trees at the front. So I'm going to make a green. Actually, I'll see what these greens are like, the pre-mades. And this is olive green. It needs a bit more blue in it, so I'll pop a bit of blue in it. Just want to darken it up a bit for the greens in the background. So make it a super dark green. Like that. And I'm just going to blob in some trees right at the base because you can just see it's all tree line back in there. Like that. Just keep it rough, not symmetric or anything. Probably even add some more blue to that, you know. So I'll do that. Add some more blue to those distant ones. Keep them all different heights. Like that. But they're in the distance, so we're going to leave them like that. And then coming into the foreground, the grass is a greeny, sort of a greeny brown. So I'm going to try, just thinking what colour I would use. Like a bluey green with a little bit of brown. So what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? I'll make a green. See if I can make a green. Yellow, I'll use cobalt blue. And I'm going to add a bit of burnt umber to it. A little bit of burnt umber. Nope. And then a bit of white maybe. Oh, no. I might add a bit of green to that. A bit more green. Oops. Back into that. Actually, that's not bad. That green's not bad for the background, for the base layer. So I'm going to wash that in. And I'll cut around my bison. I don't really need to because but I've got to make his humpy bit a bit more pointy. There we go. Cut around his body. I can cut in a little bit because he's pretty much the same colour as the mountain, which is amazing. Okay. This is quite diluted. I will be going over the top. A few more layers. I can go over his legs, that's fine. So that was the green with a bit of green with a bit of white. Sappy green, bit of white. Like that, there we go, perfect. All right, that's the base colour, the base grass. Now I've got to darken that up. I'm going to add a bit more blue. I'm going to go the green. Oops, doesn't matter which green. I'll go the white and a little bit of blue. Touch of blue. The shadowy greeny areas. Actually, I want to put my shrubberies in. I'll go the olive and a dark blue again, so I'll go my olive green. And I'll add a bit of ultramarine this time. Clean my brush. Go a bit of ultramarine. And then pop some bushes in towards the foreground. I'll do the grass and stuff around them. I'll do them sort of getting smaller into the distance and connecting in here. That. They're not trees, they're just little shrubs like desert shrub. All right, I'm not going to do too much around him. I can do some behind. Like that. A few just there. All right, I'm not too worried about that. That's pretty cool. That's okay. I'll make a shadow colour. I'm going to make a bit of blue, bit of red. See if I can make a purple. There we go. Oh, golly gosh. Trip, thank you for the sub. Thank you, mate. Thank you, thank you. How are you? Okay, let's go try and draw in. Not used to doing landscape, so this is all new. What's up? How have you been, Doll? What's been happening in Tripville? Okay, so I'm going to darken up some of this ground. It's not all just one colour. Then I've got to draw grass over the top in the foreground more so. Just got to ground everything with shadow. Like that. I can soften that off a little bit. And I'm going to add some darker greeny browns, like real dark olive. I'll go back to my green, my olive green. I'll add a bit more blue to it. Oops. A bit more blue. Like that. I'm going to take that blue back up into it. I want it to be a little bit thicker. A bit more blue. Maybe a bit, I might even add a bit of burnt umber to it to brown it off a bit more. There we go. Then a bit more blue, make it a dark. There we go. It's going to take a little bit of adjustment to figure out how these work. Having some dinner, doing good. How about you? I'm good, mate. I'm doing real well. I'm a happy camper. Life is good. I'm just went out and did some chores this morning, and now I'm just sitting back and practicing painting for the rest of the day. So makes me happy. Just going to blend that out a bit. Give it some different greens, and actually I'll use that as a shadow under my bison as well. Because I'm not used to landscapes, but this is going to be all practice, and it's very small, so I'm not overwhelming myself. I'm working on a smaller scale. Okay. And this is a little watercolour book I bought online. It's a little handmade one, hand-stitched watercolour book. It's really lovely. Really lovely. So I'm going to try and draw some grasses in. I'm going to grab some yellow. I'm going back to my bigger brush. Popping in some yellow. This is a flat brush that I got from Temu or somewhere like that. Just doing the job. I just needed a little bit of a stiffer brush. I've got another couple of these, actually a couple of smaller ones, so I'm going to grab them out actually, because I can do my different textures. Nice, already looking good. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Just got to grab a couple of these brushes are stuck down in my thing. There we go. So I've got a little set of different, have I got any more? There's another one. It's a little round one. I really need to sort through my sets. Have I got any more? One more. Yeah, this is a little set that I got. I thought, you know what? It'll be good to do little textures and things. It's only a very cheap set, but it'll do. So now I'm going to go into some greens, just pure greens. And add some tussocks and sort of dry brush even a little bit. Keep it interesting. I sort of almost need to add a shadow colour here. I need to go over the background with a bit of purple. With a bit of, I'll go transparent, I keep saying transparent sienna, it's burnt sienna. Go into my burnt sienna, bit of blue, because it's a red. It's it's a natural sort of a red, an earthy red. And I'm just going to make a shadow colour down here. I'm going to add that over this side. I'll do grass over the top, but because there's all different areas the sun's hitting. The background was looking a bit flat, so, and I'm still very much learning how to do backgrounds. You never know till you try, hey? How you go? All right. Take that right down to the tape. And that sort of blends in those shrubs in the background as well. Clean my brush. Go to my little brush. Now, what was I doing? I was using a lighter green. Get some of that green on my brush. Draw a few tussocks around. Come over his feet a little bit. Like that. Add some of the olivey green. Get a little bit of water on my brush so it flows a little bit better. Actually, I might add a bit of blue to that as well. Darken it up. A bit more blue. There we go. Use a bit of blue off there. Got a bit too much water on my brush there. Try again, shall we? That's better. I'm even going to go in with some blue, pure blue. There we go. Into these bushes. Just to darken up the bottoms of them. In the middle of them a little bit. Like that. Keeps them interesting. All right. I'm going to take a little bit of this blue onto the grass at the front as well. Like that. All right, get onto my bison. So now he's going to clean my brushes and sit them down there. He has got a similar colour to the background, but a bit of gold. So I'm going to get my burnt sienna. Bit of white, bit of burnt umber. Just going to fiddle around with this mix until I get it where I want it. Or a bit of burnt umber, a bit of white. That's not a bad colour. Quite similar to the mountain. He's quite similar. I'm just going to go over his body. He's lighter on his back. I'm going to add a little bit more white to that. Oops. Around his little face, he's got this colour. I'm going to add a bit more white. Still need more white. There we go. Come down to his head. Then down onto his shoulder. All right. You want to go out, Bear Bear? My little dog wants to go out. I'll have to let him out in a sec. Okay, I'll let you out. You want to go out? Out you go. Oh, they're both coming. All right. All good. So now I'm going to go back into I'm going to go burnt umber actually. Bit of burnt umber. And a bit of white. And I'm just going to go over little bison's head. His nose is a different colour, or his nostrils are a slightly different colour. Down onto his legs, onto his tummy, onto his back, and he's a darker colour there. right. Goodness gracious, puppy. Do you want to go out? How'd you go? There you go. Well, actually, they can all come in. They can all come in. That's fine. Put all the dogs in here. Oh, turn my chair back around. There we go. So I've got all the Jack Russells in here now. All three of them. All right. Okay, so that's him sort of blocked in. So now I'm going to clean my brush and I'm going to get a really fine one of my super fine ones. This one might do. And I'm going to start, I'm going to get a bit of yellow. Ooh, why's my brush hard? There we go, get a bit of yellow. And I'm going to add that onto the top. His woolly back is quite golden. From burnt fur, I suppose, from being sunburnt. Or I can add a bit of brown, no, that'll make an orange, won't it? Don't want to do that. All right, we'll just stick with this for now. I can go over it a couple of times. Cut around there. His head is darker. His back is super woolly. And down onto his legs is woolly. Like that. And he's got the longer woolly fur on his back. There we go. So that's that. Then I'm going to go a bit of the burnt sienna again. And burnt umber. Oops, I'm just going to shut the door. There we go. My dog's going bananas. Okay, so a bit of dark on the top of his head. Excuse my doggos. Let's drag that around a little bit. Get a bit more blue on there. Come up around his tummy. In under his leg there. It's darker. Alrighty. Under this leg's darker. Right. We go a bit more dark, make a bit of a darker colour. From around here, around the tip of his nose. Not going to get a whole lot of detail at this smaller scale. I'm going to go a bit more just pure burnt umber onto this line of his back, like that. And add a bit of texture through his fur. There we go. Now, I've got to try and find, I could even, I've got a rigger here, but I prefer to use a short rigger. Oops, a daisy. All right, so now I'm going to go into this dark. Oops, a daisy. Pick that up, got too much on there. Just mark his little eyes in. Mark this eye in. Draw his little nostrils. And I can start to add a little bit more shadow. Oh, gotta let the dog back in. There we go. Okay. Now, got to go around. I'm going to cut around his horn here. Got to get in a bit closer. Puppy's gone rogue. I know. They do. They rule the roost, I tell you. They're the boss. I do exactly what I'm trained to do. I let them in and out whenever they ask. They are definitely the boss. Okay. Now, I'm going to add just white onto his horns. Get a bit more water onto that so it moves a bit. Add a little bit just around his eyes. And a little bit coming down onto his chin. This is where I'm starting to pick up. I can't do a lot of detail because it's so tiny. And I'm going to go into this greyish colour. Might add a bit more white to it to make more of a grey. Come down onto his nose. I could even go onto that with a bit of pen at the end. So I'm going to make, I didn't turn my light on, did I? That was silly. Okay, I'm going to make a bit of a purple for a shadow. Bit of brown, bit of blue, bit of red, bit more blue, bit more blue. There we go. And I'm just going to darken up shadow underneath him like that, because underneath that leg is in shadow. The bottom of his chin is in shadow. Excuse me, bear. His tail comes down there like that. Front of this leg's shadowed like that. There, bear. Excuse me. And he's got all woolly sort of fur coming down there. All right, we're getting there. Hey, Jeremy, how are you, mate? I'm good. I'm doing very good. Just playing a little bit with landscape. Seeing how I go. Come around his horn. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but we'll figure it out. I'm going to go a bit of white onto his back. It'll go lighter colour because it'll mix a little bit with what's... Whoa, where did I get the orange from? Why did I get the orange? Gee whiz, silly me. I lost control of me doodah. I dipped it in the wrong spot. That's okay. Just got to pick the white up. Go over that. All right, we're getting there. Start to pick out little bits. I've got to do his horns. They're tucked back. I'm going to have to contrast underneath them somehow. I'm going to make that bright white, so I'm going to get a bit more white on my brush. That's a bit better. That's a little bit better. I'll do a bit of a grey underneath. I'll just go a bit of blue. I won't go grey, I'll go blue. Dip into me blue. Try and bring my brush back to a point. And just go under the horns. Just go under there, because that's under shadow. Like that. All right, I think that's okay. All right, now let's have a look. Clean my brushes. I'm going to go back onto these mountains now for a little bit. I'm going to grab some burnt sienna. Get fresh burnt sienna on my brush. I'm just going to add in a little bit of textures using my thin brush that I've got in my hand. Bits of rocks break at different areas and have different textures and patterns. Sort of make this mountain area look really good, sort of fresher, a bit more defined. I think. All right, I'm quite happy with that, I think. I'm going to do some more grasses and stuff. I'm going to go into my yellows. I'll grab a bit of yellow. I'll go a little bit of white with that as well. Oops-a-daisy. No, maybe I need a bigger brush. Okay, oops-a-daisy. Go to a bigger brush, clean out my white now. I've got that everywhere. I'm going to clean my brush. Grab a bit of that yellow with the white. Pop in some grass textures into the foreground. Doing good today. The art looks good so far. Thank you. Lots of fun. Trying out a new gouache. I just dropped my piece of cloth. I've got to get a fresh bit anyway, I think. That bit's looking a bit tatty. A little bit tatty. I've got to define my cow more. I've got to do some more grass. I'll use some blues and pop some blues in as well into the shadow areas. Like that. Just to get some texture in the front. Go a bit stronger maybe. There we go. Bring some grass down the back. So take it all the way through around him. Then I might even, when that's a little bit drier, there's a tiny little bit of pen. I've got to darken up. I've got to make an almost black. Burnt umber, ultramarine blue. Makes an almost black. Very carefully pop that in. That's what I'm missing. He's got a shadow that comes down his shoulder under his horn there. It's a shadow. Shadows make things come to life. So he's got a shadow there. He's got a bit of a shadow. He's darker, much darker down the back of his neck here. Like that. In the front of that leg. All right. Give him some muscles coming down the back. He's got some muscles on his legs. You can just see them. All right. I'm going to add a little highlight. I've got to go super dark. Go back into my almost black on the bottom of his nose, like that. And a little highlight on the top, following the shape of his nostrils, like that. I'm also going to add a little bit of that onto his tummy, onto that hip, like that. All right. Now I'm going to add a few light greens. I'm going to go bit of yellow, bit of green. Just lighten up my green. Like that. Add a few highlights onto some of these. Not all of them, just a little bit on the side that's getting hit with the sun. Like that. Having a look. maybe pop some more grass, and I reckon I'm going to call that one done for a sketch. It's a pretty fun little sketch. Just pop some more grass in. Maybe add some branches. I don't have any branches. These little shrubby bits. At the moment they're just blobs, so I'm going to unblob them. All right, I'm going to sign that. I'm going to take the tape off and let's have a look. Sign that. I'll sign it down the bottom left. And the date, 26. All right, take my tape off. Let's have a look. That turned out really cool. Look at that. I love taking the tape off and seeing the finished piece. It's good fun. So, there we go. That's today's finished piece. One of them. I might do another. Let's have a look. What have I got in references? I could do tiger. Maybe I could do a moose. I'll do another landscape. Maybe I'll do another landscape, seascape kind of thing. Let's do that. All right, so I've got to find my blue tape. Here's my tape, and we'll mark another page. Oh, okay, you want to go out now? Okay, out you go. Out you go. Alright, what's today's? Oh, drop my brush. Get my bit of cloth, my bit of tape, I mean. Alright. Turn that carefully. That was yesterday's piece. I did that bare. So now I've got to be a bit careful because I need that to dry. I mean, it's pretty dry. I'm just gonna. How am I going to do this? I've got to hold those pages down somehow. I could tape them. I'll just tape them down like that, just so they don't crush too much. There we go. That gives me the perfect amount of tape to put here. Oops. Like that. And we'll have another go at another landscape. Oops. Try another bit of tape there. Like that. That'll hold that down a bit better. Had to take my other side off. There. Across the bottom. And this is just painter's tape. You use it for painting your walls and stuff in your house, and I picked some up at the hardware store yesterday. That was a bit handy. Alright. So, now I am going to draw in the basic sort of shape. I'm going to draw a cliff. Oops, today, so I'll make it come out here, sort of, like that. Down onto the sea. Have like a cove coming in, like that. Oh, excuse me, my dogs, my goodness. Come on then. Come on then. There we go. Okay. And then the ocean, it disappears off around there. Like that. I'll draw a sort of face of a cliff here, coming down on an angle like that. Draw another sort of face coming there, going off into the distance a little bit. Then this face, this cliff, there's a little outcrop of rocks there. It's fun trying new things because I'm not a landscape artist. All right. And then this, I've got like, this is coming around sort of to me. All right, let's see. How am I going to do that? So this is like ripples on the water. I'm just going to roll my eraser over that just to dull down the pencil lines a little bit. Just a little bit. Then I'm going to clean my palette. Where's my spritzy doodah? Where's my spritzy doodah? There it is. So I've got to clean this palette. I was going to use some of the colours, but I won't. I'll just clean it off. So I've got a fresh start for it. Nice clean colours. Today's roll that back on itself a little bit. In the bin. Another bit of cloth. I need to get a cloth holder even for this. There we go. Give that a wipe. Well, I'm liking this little palette so far. It's working out all right. And these are the Shinhan gouache, the professional gouache. So I am now going to start with the sky again. So I'll go in with cobalt blue. Get my cobalt blue on my brush, on my palette on the left here. I'm going to try and keep this limited palette, I think. So I'm going to go straight in with a wash of the blue. My water's quite dirty. I probably should change it, but oh well. I might have to do that. I might have to change my water, but it's all right for now. All right. Come down here. All right, so that's the sky. Make it a bit darker at the top, maybe. A bit darker at the top. Like that, and I'll blend it down a little bit. And while that's still damp, pop some some clouds in. Clean my brush between every dip. All right, another cloud over here. Do some cloudy patterns like that, getting smaller into the distance like that, bigger up the top. All right, I'm going to leave that. I'm not going to do a whole lot more. All right, now I'm going to do the top, the top of this cliff green. So I'm going to go in with like this sap green. Start off with a washed down, watered down sap green and come along the top of this cliff. Doesn't matter if I go over the sky because it's a blue, it'll just make it a darker green. Just fine by me. Come down here. So that's continue down onto this side in front of me into the foreground. So that's the top of the cliff all the way around. The first layer of green, then I'm going to make a darker green. Oops. Go into my, try and keep my paints separate. Make a darker green there, like that. I'm going to come onto here. Keeping it simple, not fussing too much. Just add a few different colours, different greens. Come down and around here. I won't worry so much about. I've got to add some little flowers in there, but I'm not going to worry about that just yet. I'll do that at the end. Across the bank of there. All right. So now I'm going to go onto my cliff face with some burnt, I keep wanting to call it transparent sienna, burnt sienna and white to make a sandy colour. And I never used to be a fan of burnt sienna, but it's really growing on me. So that makes an earthy pink. And I'm going to take that down my cliff face. Might add a bit more white to it even. And take that down my cliff face. I will vary some of the colours. There'll be a bit of a grey coming down there. Oh my goodness. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. I'm just trying to see it. Destroyed. Thank you. Welcome, welcome. Oh, yeah, CJ. There we go. Awesome. Welcome. I can read it closer. I've got the bifocals on. So thank you for the follow. So we're just practicing landscapes today because I'm not much of a landscape artist. I'm usually a wildlife artist. But I thought, you know what? I've got to get outside my comfort zone. So here we are. Right. Take this little cliff down here. Add a bit of pink onto there as well. Not all the one colour. And this will be a good sandy colour as well. Oakley doke. Having a look. I want to make like a yellowy earthy tone. So I'm going to go to my I keep saying transparent sienna because that's my absolute favourite colour in Schminky watercolours. So I'm going to go that red. Oh, it's transparent. Burnt sienna. How am I going to make? Actually, you know what I need to do? I need to make an orange earthy colour. I might add a bit of yellow to it and see if that does it. I need an orangey earthy colour. So add a bit more of the sienna to it. A bit of white maybe. Yeah, that's an earthy orange. That works. It's a little bit different. I'm just going to come around the bedraggedy bits of this cliff. There's some bits are in shadow. I'll add those shadows in a minute. I can add some of this orange onto the top of this one as well. We've got different strata in the rocks. Bit on there. And I've got to make a grey now, a light grey. So I'm going to go cobalt blue and I'm going to go bit of burnt umber, and then I'm going to go a bit of white. To make a light grey. There we go. Well, that worked first go. That's a surprise. Okay, and I'm going to run that down in here. I want a clean line at the bottom though where it meets the sand. Okay, there's a grey here. Like that. Bit of grey over here. And then, oops, I put my brush in my green. Won't matter, I'll just mix it all in with the grey. Come down the face of this cliff. Like that. I'm going to wash over the top of all of that end, I think. Like that. And then I can go even darker. These disappear off into the water, so I'm going to go the ultramarine blue, burnt umber. Bit more burnt umber. Bit more ultramarine blue to make my dark. Oh, I stuck it in the wrong doodah again. I keep sticking it in the wrong doodah. So burnt umber, cobalt, ultramarine blue, and a bit of white. But and I splattered. And a little bit of white. I'll make that a bit darker, a bit more burnt umber maybe. A bit more ultramarine blue, not cobalt, ultramarine. Like that. There we go. That's a darker grey again. Less water. And I'm just going to cut the shape of the rocks. It's sort of all abstract. You're just looking at shapes. It's not all perfect. And this is like another face on this same rock. Just take that down there like that. I'll leave little snippets of the light. Down here, this is darker down here. Like that. Come right onto the water, the darker rocks. I'm going to add some greyish rock coming down here as well. Okay, I think I'm going to try a little bit of yellow and a little bit of white. I'm going to add a bit of white into my earthy yellow over there. Add a bit more white into it. Like that. So I need to get a bit more white maybe. Get a bit of a lighter. I'm going to go pure white. Over the top of that a little bit. And over the top of here. Like that. A little bit on the face of this rock maybe. Just trying to figure it out as I go. I'm just following the shapes of the rocks. All right. I'm going to make a super dark again. So blue, burnt umber, ultramarine blue and burnt umber makes a beautiful dark. Because I don't own a black in this brand of paint. I'm just going to add super dark in here. Like that. That's the side of that rock disappearing off down there. Do that super dark there. Coming down into this corner. There'll be dark rocks at the bottom in shadow, or the sides of rocks. In here is super dark. All right, it's getting there. We're getting there, peeps. Around the bottom of this rock. I'll just add some texture in there. So it's different shape rocks. Like that. A bit darker up there maybe. Have a little bit of dark bit. Just got to not overdo it. I've got to be careful not to overdo it. All right, having a quick look, clean my brush, having a quick look. Okay, I'm going to draw in the ocean now. And I'm going to go cobalt blue. I'm going to dilute it. And I'm going to come around here. Cut around the edge of my rock. I can always, it's because it's not watercolour, I don't have to worry so much about being as precise as I am. I'm so used to using watercolour that I try not to go over things, even though I don't have to worry about it, because I can paint over gouache, which is really nice. Oops, I'm going to grab a bit more cobalt, and I'm going to come in. Should be using my flat brush for this, hey? I'm just so used to working with rounds. I'm just going to wash this right up to the sand. All the way down the page. Like that. Blend that out a fraction. Okay, I'm going to add a bit of green. I'll go a light green. And maybe a bit of white where it's sort of breaking. A bit of white. Because it's shallower up here. I can always change it if I need to. Because, yep. All right. Got a bit of green in the water. I'll grab a bit of white. I've got to make a sandy colour. So I'm going to use that other sandy colour, the cliff colour, but I'm going to add even more white to it to really dull it down. That's my sandy colour. So come down here. Whoops. Clean my brush. Come down here. Add a bit more white to it. Come onto the beach. Oops. My orange has dipped into my white, which is annoying, but that's okay. The orange separated just a fraction and dipped into my white. And I'm also going to add a little bit of white back onto the edge, the very top. Anywhere that's have your lights next to your darkest darks. Like that. Come down the edge of this cliff here. All right. Come down onto my sand. Now I've got to get pure loopy white. Onto my water. Doesn't want to do it. That's okay. Add texture. It's like waves. The waves are coming in. Like that. Coming around the edge of the coast. Add a little white strip over that line there as well. The waves are all breaking just there. Can't really see them around that edge, but I'll draw it around there a little bit. Just have these coming down. Do some scraping, some dry brushing, sort of coming back a little bit from the waves. And I've got to create some shadow in the waves, so I'm going to go make a blue-grey around the sand. So go into my blue, mix up a bit of grey. Go into a bit of that colour up there. Pop a little bit of this shadowy colour where it's washing up onto the sand. Like that. Hey Deep, how are you, mate? How are you? I'm also going to darken up, go back into my transparent, my burnt sienna, back into my burnt sienna, almost pure burnt sienna this time, just at the bottom of these rocks. Drag that up. So I'm doing gouache landscapes, trying to do gouache landscapes, which is a bit of fun. Completely out of my comfort zone, but good fun. Things are going well, mate, going really well. Just chilling and arting and not much else. So cruising along quite happily. Base here. Get a bit more texture sort of happening up here. I want it to look a bit more rock-like, a little bit less flat. Like that. Come down here. I want to darken up the bottom of this rock as well. I need to go burnt umber and ultramarine blue. There we go. It's an almost black. All right. I'm going to go up and do some more greens, some different greens. So a bit of green. Take it up onto this cliff face. Around that edge. Like that. I'll add some more olivey greens in. Did you see the first thing I said? No bread puns will happen when you oh my God. Oh, you're a madman. You are a madman. Love your work. All right, going to pop some grassy textures up in here to the foreground. Just trying to get it a bit more cliffy looking. Do some flowers here coming up into the foreground. So I'm going to go grab an orange. So go a bit of red, bit of yellow, bit of cad red, bit of yellow. Cad red is quite orangey anyway. Oops. And pop in little orange blobs. Into the foreground and around the edge of the cliff. Let's have a look. A little bit of white too. Little white blobs. There's all different coloured little flowers here. Keep them a bit random. Pop some grassy sort of textures in as well. I've got a bit more white onto the water. So I'm going to try and I want this to be bright white down here. And it's not wanting to. More blobby with it. Get some sort of stripes coming off it. So give you the suggestion of waves getting smaller into the distance. Like that. And a little bit of sun texture, like sun dapple on the edges, maybe. Help lift it a bit. What do we think, peeps? What are we thinking? Doing all right? Alrighty, have another look. I'm going to make it a bit, that's the background, a bit of a bluier green. A bit of blue, a bit more yellow. It's very up. Whoa, that's way too strong. Gee willikers. A bit more yellow. And just vary this up a bit out the background, up on the cliff. Like that. Got some variation in my greens. I'm going to try, I want I don't want that orange. I'm just trying to think of how I want to make like a yellow ochre. Where's my colour wheel? Got my colour wheel here somewhere. Where did I put it? Where did I put my colour wheel? I had it. Oh, there it is. Got it. Okay, how would I make a burnt sienna? A gold yellow ochre. So to make an ochre, it's red, violet, add yellow. So I've got to make a violet and then add yellow. Okay, fun. I don't have a purple, so I'll make one. So clean my palette a little bit. Make a purple. So I'll go blue. Oh, that's yellow. What am I doing? Clean my brush. Silly duffer. Clean my brush. So colour wheels are super handy for such occasions. So I've got to make a purple. So blue, red. Hello? Good. Just having a stream. Blue and yellow, and then yellow. Blue. Oh, would you look at that? A bit more yellow. And that does make an ochre. There we go. So purple, whoops, purple and yellow makes ochre. Righto. I might add a little touch of white to that to lighten it off a little bit. Little touch of white. There we go. And I can add that onto my cliffs as well. I want to add a bit of that onto this cliff over here. Like that, and a little bit onto this cliff. Like that. Come down here. Excuse me, you want to go out there? Again. I'll let you out there. Go. Okey doke. And I'm going to strengthen up the background blue. I'm going to grab my flat brush, a little flat brush. Let it go, there it is. It might be a bit big actually, might be a bit wide. Have I got a smaller flat brush? I do. Grab a smaller flat brush, go into my cobalt, like that. And I'm just going to continue on. Did you know that if you boil a funny bone, it becomes a laughing stock? Oh my God. You're crazy, but I love it. I'm just going to do textured ocean sort of patterns over the top colour that I had. Darker in the background, lighter in the foreground, like that. Don't want it solid. Can add a bit more, a little bit of blue into here. That's just behind these waves. I'm going to add some more white cloud, I think. Add some more white cloud. Actually, and I've also, now that I've got this one, I can add into my pure white. Get rid of that little blob that I had and define these clouds a bit more. So I'm going in pure pigment now, pretty much. Pure pigment to make the clouds stronger. Like that. Let's help them a bit, I think. All right, clean my brush. And I've got to put little blobs, little dots in the flowers, just right in the centre of the flowers. So go in with a bit of burnt umber. Like that. I'll let my little dog in again. Bossy britches. He's a bossy britches, my bear. All right, and I'll go some super dark green in the foreground. Whoops. A bit more blue. I'm just going to add some little grassy bits right there. And I'm going to make a dark, super dark. Go blue, more blue, more blue, and then burnt umber. And burnt umber like that to make a dark. Add my super darks. We're getting into the final nitty gritties. Like that. Giving a quick look. I don't think I need to do much more. Okay, I reckon I'm going to sign that and call it. Where's my little tiny brush? There it is. I'm going to sign that over here. You can't even see it. I might do that in a different colour. Might do it in white. There we go, and let's take the tape off. Whoops, it's all going to come off at once. And have a look at this. Very cool. Oh, I like the edges. I like the bordered edges, that's really cool. Whoops, days. Awesome, look at that. Not bad for a day's landscape practice. So, the one I did earlier, did that yesterday, that's my bear, and I did the bison landscape. It was the first one I did today, my little bison, and then I did the bear yesterday and another landscape today. So that was lots of fun. So are you under attack? No. Oh God. I don't have any tax. So I'm going to call that done. Let's see if there's anyone else on. For my friends on Twitch, we are going to see who's on. And we shall do a raid. Just bear with me a second. Just got to bring Twitch up. See who's on. Let's go and hang out with who's on. We have got a blue skittle. Let's go and hang out with the blue skittle. So I'm going to go, right? What did the buffalo say to his son when the kid went to school? I don't know what. What did he say? / right? A blue skittle. Bison. Oh my God. Well, on that note, thank you so much, mate. You're a dag. You're very funny. But let's all go hang out with Blue Skittle over on his channel. So for my friends on YouTube, that's you take your followers across to another channel to share the love, share the followers. So hit that. Hope that works. Yes, it's going to work. You have a great day too, mate, and I will see you all next time. Thank you for hanging out and sharing my art journey with me and playing with gouache. And I will see you all over at Blues. Have a good one, guys. Okie doke, I'll let that raid go for my friends on YouTube, and then I've got to go back here, go to Blue's channel, see that he comes up, and then I can turn my stream off.
You know the drill, get counterbolt, and also gems, welcome in.